Welcome to Mindful Monday. I'm Connie Bowman. For any of you who are here for the first time, welcome. I normally teach at the North Laurel 50 Plus Center on Mondays, and I look forward to someday being back there. But until then, here we are, and I hope you've got your sacred space set up. I keep my yoga mat rolled out right here in front of this window, so it's always there inviting me. And I like to light a candle, as I've done here, and I like to have some greenery around. So I encourage you to create your own sacred space for your practice. And one other thing I'd like to add is that I have recorded a lot of my videos so that if you particularly like one, you can go to my YouTube channel, Connie Bowman, and if you subscribe, then you'll see when new ones come up. I'll probably post this one later today. So if you like one, then you can do it again. So it's always there. The other thing is, as we practice today, I would like to encourage you to have a blanket or a towel to use for seated poses, and then also for some props that we will use in a bit. And then if you have a yoga strap, which probably a lot of you don't at home, but if you do, we will be using it, so you might want to grab that. Or a bathrobe tie works really well too. So it's not necessary, but it will be nice to have. I'd like to start on our backs, and your towel or blanket can be rolled up. So this is a blanket, and it's folded in fourths, and then I'm going to roll it up like a cannoli roll, we call them. It always makes me hungry. And then lay it down so that if you have one of these yoga blankets, you want the tassels underneath. And then put your hips right at the bottom of the blanket, and hopefully your head will land somewhere on the blanket, and then just wrap your shoulders around the blanket, and you get this nice chest opener. And then we'll just start our centering practice here. No worries if there's no blanket handy, just come to your backs and allow your eyes to close. And just notice what you immediately sense as you begin to go inward. Notice the natural rise and fall of the breath. Notice the parts of the body that might be resisting this pose. Still a little early here, we might still be a little stiff. See if you can soften around your blanket. See how many sounds you can discern in the distance. And then notice the sounds in your space. Might hear the sound of a tummy gurgling, the sound of your breath. And then with your eyes closed, just notice the light that filters through your eyelids. And become sensitive to the temperature of the air. All these things that remind us we're alive in these miraculous bodies that work so hard to keep us balanced. And so softening the belly will invite in a deeper breath, filling up the belly, the rib cage, and then drawing that air all the way up to the tops of the lungs. pausing at the top of the inhalation just for a moment so you can feel that sense of fullness. And then breathing out of your nostrils slowly, keeping that exhalation slow. And breathing out until the belly drops back down to the spine. Begin again with the breath filling up, pausing, and then releasing the air slowly and intentionally. Good. Take a few more, finding your own pace this morning. Taking time to slow the breath. I thought I'd share this poem by Mary Oliver. She's one of my favorites. And at this change of seasons, when so much is going on, she writes about a hurricane that she lived through. And she says, "It didn't behave like anything you had ever imagined. The wind tore at the trees, the rain fell for days, slant and hard. The back of the hand to everything. I watched the trees bow and their leaves fall and crawl back into the earth, as though that was that. This was one hurricane I lived through. The other one was of a different sort and lasted longer. Then I felt my own leaves giving up and falling, the back of the hand to everything. But listen now to what happened to the actual trees. Toward the end of that summer, they pushed new leaves from their stubbed limbs. It was the wrong season, yes, but they couldn't stop. They looked like telephone poles and didn't care. And after the leaves came blossoms. For some things, there are no wrong seasons, which is what I dream of for me." No wrong seasons. Oh, to have that faith. So when you're ready, let's faithfully roll off of our blankets and just set it aside and come to your back. Let your spine just kind of neutralize. Maybe tuck your shoulders underneath and just get a sense of what it feels like to be not on top of your blanket. And then keeping your breath smooth and steady, just take your right knee and hug it into your chest. Take some ankle circles in one direction and then the other. You can keep your eyes closed, just tuning into your body, noticing any clicks of the ankle or any tightness. Just see if you can circle it out, releasing what needs to be released this morning. And then gently release that right leg, extend it long, and hug the left knee into your chest. Noticing the differences, taking those ankle circles, passing through one direction and then the other. Good. And then as you're ready, slowly release that leg long. Take your arms way overhead. Take a big full breath in. Arch your back, creating that little C curve in the lower back, exaggerating that. And then as you exhale, draw your knees, both knees, into the chest. And take a moment here to rock from side to side. Just check in with the hips and the lower back. And then lower that left leg long again. Reach for your strap. And if you don't have a strap, we'll just reach for the calf. But if you have your strap, take it over that right foot, place it on the ball of the right foot, and then take the strap in both hands. Try to have a gentle grip, but a firm one. And then press that right heel up toward the ceiling and draw your toes towards your face. Take a big breath in and enjoy this hamstring stretch. Say good morning, hamstring. Breathe in. Breathe out. And when you're ready, take the strap in your left hand, release your right arm out to the right, and gently take your leg across your body. Keep pressing that heel forward, activating that right quadricep, and then turn your head towards your right arm and breathe here. Full breath in. Long breath out. On your next inhale, bring that leg back up to center. Switch hands so the strap comes in your right hand. The left arm releases out to the left. Turn your gaze toward the left arm and press your right heel forward. Toes come toward you. Big breath in. Long breath out. And then inhale, bring it all back to center. Take both hands on that strap again and draw your nose up toward your right knee. Maybe increase the intensity of this hamstring stretch if you're ready. And then slowly lower your head, neck and shoulders, release your strap, and just let your right leg float on down to the mat. And take a moment to appreciate the difference between the right leg and the left. And when you're ready, we'll take the strap to the left foot. Press that heel toward the ceiling. Notice what you got going in this left leg. Strap comes in both hands. Breathe into this hamstring. Draw the toes toward your face. Find that edge. Good. Breathing in. And full exhalation. And then take the strap in your right hand, release the left arm out, and turn your gaze over toward the left as you draw the left leg across the body. Breathing in. Exhaling out. Good. Wait for the end of the exhalation, and when you start that next inhalation, draw the leg back in and switch hands. Take the right arm out, turn your gaze toward the right, press the left heel, draw the toes toward you, keep that right hip as much on the floor as you can. Breathe in, breathe out. Good. And on your next inhalation, bring that leg back up toward the sky, keep that flex, and take your hands to either side of your strap. And take your nose to your knee as you inhale. And as you exhale, gently release. Let your left foot float on down. And take your Savasana for just a moment. Returning to that observation of this body. Noticing your breath, noticing what changes have occurred just from that stretch of each leg. And when you're ready, bring your heels towards your hips, place your palms gently on the floor, and on your inhale, lift your hips toward the sky, coming into a few bridges here. On your exhale, lower your hips back down. Keep your gaze up toward the ceiling as much as you can. Inhale, lifting your hips, activating the glutes, feeling those quads getting turned on. Exhale back down. Good. We'll come back up. Inhale. And exhale, slowly lower back down. We'll take the knees into the chest one more time and take those circles in one direction, drawing some circles on the ceiling. And go the other way. Good. And then when you're ready, hug your knees into your chest. Decide if you are ready to rock and roll, starting really small, just little rocks. You can always roll to one side. But as your rocks forward and back get a little bit bigger, maybe we can find a place of balance here in boat pose. So you can take your hands under your legs and hold. Maybe you release your hands. Maybe a little smile curves on your lips as we activate that center, getting the core ready for the day. We'll count 4, 3, 2, and 1. Yeah. When you start shaking, you know you're doing some good work. So take your blanket, and we'll tuck it under our hips. We'll be here for a bit. So if your knees are not allowing you to sit cross-legged today, just extend your legs long. We'll come up to sit and draw the shoulders up to the ears, and then roll them on back. Inhale them back up. Exhale them back. Take another shoulder circle. And then as you're ready, bring your hands to the fronts of your knees and your chin to your chest, and just check in with the back of the neck. Notice how it's feeling. And then take your hands, just make a little gentle nest, and see what happens if you just gently put a little bit of weight on the back of the head. Not too much. And if you have any neck injuries, just be smart about it. We'll take one more breath in. And as we release, let the arms come out and take your gaze up. And then reach your arms up to the sky. Let your palms touch. And then take your side bend over to the left. Reaching your right arm overhead, looking, gazing under that right arm. Breathe in here. Breathe out. Inhale, reach up and look up. Let your palms touch above your head, and then take your side bend to the other side. Good. Looking under that left arm. We'll take 2 more. Inhale, reach up and look up. Get really long in the side body. Take your side bend. Inhale. And exhale. Good. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Good. On this next one, reach up, get really long. Palms can touch overhead. And then as you exhale, take your hands forward in front of you and let your fingertips walk you forward until you find a gentle stretch for your lower back. Keep it gentle. We're still warming up here. And draw your chin into your chest as you slowly rise on your inhale. Take your arms, reach up, and draw all the goodness down into your sweetheart. And just pause here. Let your eyes close and just notice how you feel. Full breath in and a deep breath out. And one more thing, if your legs are crossed, just cross them the opposite way. So take one leg, the other leg in front. And then we'll just take some hip circles here. Just taking some slow circles. One direction, whichever direction works for you. Just waking up the side body and the hips. And then switch directions. Good. Take one more pass. And then pause here. Take yourself up into your tabletop pose, patting your knees as needed. I have a rug underneath me, so I don't need as much padding, but it's always nice to place something underneath your knees as we move into our cat-cows. One of the best things you can do in the morning. I don't have my puppy here this morning, so I do the Sophie shake in her honor. And when you're ready, on your inhale, press your mat away, drop your belly, lift your gaze. And as you exhale, round, come into that Halloween cat shape. Tops of the feet on the mat, lifting as you inhale and rounding as you exhale. Good. Good. If you feel like you'd like to constrict the back of your throat and try some Ujjayi breath, that is in your practice. Feel free to breathe in whatever way works for you. Just keep the breath slow and linked to your movement. And then you're doing yoga. Good. We'll come through one more and then find neutral. Hands under shoulders, fingers spread nice and wide, and then the knees under the hips. And as you're ready, extend that left leg long and point those toes down. So activating the quadricep. Take your right arm, reach it forward. And then point your toes on your left leg, get really long. And then notice if your shoulder is popping out of your shoulder socket, just draw it back and take your gaze forward. Find some steadiness here as much as you can. Take a big breath in, and without lowering your left leg, lower your right hand, tuck your right toes on the mat, and we'll lift the left arm up, coming into a side angle pose of sorts. Reaching up, maybe looking up, challenge your balance here, looking up. And then if you really feel steady, take your left leg, bend your knee, and reach for your left ankle, stretching your quadricep. Breathing in, breathing out. And on your inhale, we'll come out the same way, gracefully, reaching that leg long, reaching the arm up. And then on your exhale, just lower the left hand and the left knee. Come back to your table, Sophie shake. Take a big breath in. We'll reach the right leg long. Start with a flex of your toes, and then reach the left leg forward. Take your gaze forward. Good. Tuck the left toe. Go ahead and do that just to get steady in case you're wobbling like I am. Take a nice big breath in. And then flex the right toe again, the toes pointing toward the floor. So you're really activating the glute and the right quadricep. And as you exhale, just lower the left hand. We'll take that side angle. You can take your tucked toes on your left leg. You can make a little kickstand if you would like to take it over to the left, or keep it right where it is. Just wherever you feel steady, take that right arm, peel it up. Good. Opening up here, keeping that flex, that activation in the leg. Maybe take your gaze up toward that right arm. Good. And if you feel really steady, you want to reach back for that right ankle. Open up the right shoulder, open up the right quadricep. Good. Beautiful. Slow and easy. Reach up as you breathe in, and as you exhale, We'll take the right hand down, the right knee down. Bring your knees wide as your mat. Sink yourself back, coming into an extended child's pose. You deserve it. Breathe in. Breathe out. Walk your fingertips a little farther forward. Get really long, stretching the upper back. And breathe into that back body, full lower back, middle back, filling up the upper back and those upper lobes of the lungs. And then slowly let it go. Good. Take a moment to press yourself slightly up. Bring your hands back and coming through your table, tuck your toes. Lift your hips coming into that inverted V shape. Downward facing dog. Take your blanket out of the way. And spread your fingers nice and wide as you press your heels toward the floor. Keep a soft neck. And then walk your dog. Even if you're missing your dog, just walk your dog. I do miss my dog. One knee bends and then the other. Breath nice and steady. And then find stillness here. Press those heels back toward the floor. Release any tension in the face or the neck. And then as you're ready, look forward. Come on up to your tiptoes and take a walk to the front of your mat and find your forward fold. Now forward fold, if you're finding that the floor seems really far away, a block, or even a book. Nice thick book is good, will do. Or perhaps you'd like to bring your hands to your elbows and find ragdoll here. And shake your head, yes. And shake your head, no. And keeping as much of a bend in the knees as you need to, or perhaps bending the knees and then straightening the knees. And just taking some dynamic movements to release muscle stiffness, maybe right leg and then left. Just being gentle this morning. And then as you're ready, we'll come up to a halfway lift. So hands to blocks or shins, gazing forward ahead of you, but not craning your neck. So just somewhere on the floor that's ahead of you, making that Ardha Uttanasana, that flat table. And as you exhale, fold forward again. Fingertips come down toward the floor or blocks. And as you inhale, bend your knees, root to rise, reaching up, looking up. Let the palms touch, and then draw them down right through the center of the body, on down to the heart. And just pause here. Close your eyes. Take a full breath in and a nice long exhalation. And then release your hands out to the sides, palms face forward, coming into your first mountain pose. Keep your eyes closed if you can and just notice the body doing all that balancing on its own without you even having to think about it. It's amazing. And then blink your eyes open. Lift and spread your toes and press your toes into the earth. And then take your arms, reach them back as you sink your hips down, reach your arms forward, coming into chair pose. So nice quad strengthener here. Take your gaze forward, keep your breath nice and slow, and draw your hands down to your heart as you come up to your tiptoes and find a little balance here in your tippy toes. Good. We'll see if we can stay on the tiptoes and rise back up. Yeah. Coming into our tippy toe mountain pose. And as you exhale, release your hands down. Yeah, that was tricky. Let's take that one more time. Arms go back as the hips go down. Inhale as you rise up into your, sink down and lift your arms as you sink down into your chair pose. And then come up on your tiptoes. Breathe in, keep it steady. And then rise on up, mountain pose. And exhale as you lower your heels and hands. Good job. Feel those quads starting to get activated. We'll take one more, sinking down into your chair pose, reaching your arms, framing your ears. Inhale, come up to the tiptoes, rising up. And exhale, lower your heels, lower yourself. Coming into mountain pose, hands come to heart center. And just pause. Notice your quads. Notice all the muscles that just got activated, those dense muscles. And then when you're ready, blink your eyes open. Inhale, no more of that. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming into your halfway lift. And then exhale, take your hands to floor or blocks and step back with your left leg. So we're going to come into this low lunge here. And then if you would like to place a blanket under your knee, lower your knee to the floor and rise up, reaching your arms up to the sky, finding a little bit of a back bend here, looking up. Good. And then take your hands down to your heart, take your left elbow across toward the right and take a little twist. Breathing in. Breathing out. If you'd like to open up your arms in this twist, or flip your palm and take that half bind. Keep your gaze over that right shoulder. Good. Nice big breath in. And as you slowly unwind, we're going to take our fingertips to this, to frame the right leg, and gently, deciding how far we're going to go, we're going to come into a little half split. So the heel comes forward, and this is where a block can come in handy. You can slide it underneath you. And you find out how ready you are for this half split. You will know as soon as you get there. Don't take it any farther than you are ready for. But once you find that place where you can kind of stay for just a few breaths, flex your right foot and lift your heart. Draw your shoulders back and away, down from those ears. Breathe in. And if you'd like to take it a little bit further, you can take your hands to the mat and fold over that right knee. No need. Make it your own. This is your practice. Be here for one more, two more breaths. Let's see how we feel. Try to keep a relaxed face and jaw and neck. And then here's the tricky part on your inhale. We have to drag that foot back. Tuck your left toes. Lift your hips and send the right foot back to meet the left, and we'll rise up into downward facing dog. Keep your blanket where it is. Take a nice big breath in and a breath out. And then from here, we're just going to lift the left leg up high and send it forward into that low lunge. So the blanket should be here in a good place for the right knee to come down. The right top of the foot can come down. And then rise up to your low lunge on this side. Good. Draw the shoulders down and away from the ears. Take a little back bend, look up. So you get that stretch of the right hip flexor as you do. Breathe in, and as you exhale, hands come to heart center, and we'll take a twist on this side. Good. Now, you're always welcome to tuck that right foot and come on up to, so the knee is off the mat. It's a little different experience, but you are welcome to do that. Breathe in, decide if you want to open up or flip the palm and take your half bind here, reaching that arm around. Take a full breath in as you gaze toward that left shoulder, and a full breath out. And then we'll gently unwind. Bring our fingertips to the mat and decide where we're going to go in this half split on this side. Maybe tucking a block or a blanket underneath that left leg. Yeah, one side is usually a little bit more cooperative. So breathe here. This is a good opportunity to remember to breathe and decide if you want to fold forward. Try to keep a flex in that left foot. Relax the back of the neck. We'll be here for another breath or two. This is a deep stretch, so take it only where you are ready to go in this moment. And when you're ready, slowly press yourself up, drag that foot, even if your mat comes back. Tuck your right foot, lift that right knee off the mat, take your hands to the floor, and then step back, coming into downward facing dog. All right, that nonsense is over. However, just take a moment to walk out your dog and notice how you feel. Good. Breathe in and breathe out. And as you're ready, come up to your tiptoes, walk, step, jump, come to the front of your mat. We'll meet in a forward fold. Good. So when you're ready, bend your knees, root to rise, reaching up, looking up, taking your hands together above your crown chakra, and then draw your hands right down to your heart. Beautiful. And we're going to reach down, pick up our strap. And again, you don't need your strap necessarily, but I'm doing a lot of stretches for our quads and our hamstrings here today. So you can decide if you want to use your strap. Bring your feet about hip width and take your weight into your left leg. Look somewhere ahead of you and find your drishti, find your gazing point, something that is not moving. And then just lift your right knee about waist high. So decide if this is enough for you for your balance pose. And you always have the ability to have something to hold on to if you're near a wall. So if you'd like to take it a little bit further, you can reach down with your strap, place it where we had it before when we were on our backs, and come into a standing one-legged stretch using your strap. So this is one option. You can also take that strap, keeping your drishti in one hand, your right arm, take it out to the side, keep your gaze forward, and decide if you want to open up. Maybe turn your head. Take strong quads on that left side, so coming back to center. If you fall out, just laugh about it. We'll take it to the other side, so bring your weight, after you shake it out appropriately, bring your weight into your right foot and take that left knee up about waist high. Now you can just completely hang out here. This might be fun. But if you're feeling steady and ready, take that strap, keep your drishti, try it on this side, pressing that heel forward, activating that right leg, you got this. Breathing through it, and then to take it just a little bit further, yeah, take it out to the side. So you can also do this holding your big toe. It's a little easier with a strap, a little different. It's never easy. Come back to center when you're ready. Slowly release that. Oh yeah. So take your weight back into your left foot. See, now I could do that. And then take some ankle circles as you hold your foot. Hold your knee. Good. We'll switch sides. Bring your weight to your right foot. Take some ankle circles. Good. So just something fun to play with. Nothing serious, only yoga. When you're ready, we'll come to the fronts of our mats, bring our feet hip width, root to rise, finding that length, and then fold forward. Bring your fingertips to the floor or your blocks. Inhale, come to your halfway lift, and then exhale, bend your knees, step one foot back, and then the other. And then rock forward and slowly lower all the way down. Make a little pillow with your hands. Turn your head to one side and just rock your hips. Take a big breath in here. Nice slow exhalation. And then bring your forehead to the center of the mat and take your hands down by your sides. Squeeze your legs together and really draw them in toward one another. And then on your next breath in, lift your head and your shoulders, keeping your gaze forward, and then lift your feet and your knees. So it's head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Coming into a locust pose here. Reaching your fingertips back, drawing your chest forward, shoulder blades squeezing, and legs squeezing. One more breath in, and then lower all that down. Make your pillow, turn your head to the opposite side, rock your hips. Take a full breath in, and a long breath out. So, we're going to bring our forehead back to center, and you have the option of doing that same locust pose, lifting legs, head, shoulders, knees, and toes, or bend your knees and reach for your ankles, and we'll come into upward facing bow. So bottoms of the feet pressing toward the ceiling as your shoulder blades draw together. Lift your heart. Press those legs toward one another as you lift the feet a little bit higher, squeezing up. Breath soft and smooth. We'll take one more breath. And then let all that go. Big sigh, turn your head in the opposite direction. Take your hips rocking from side to side. Good. With your head turned in one direction, just take that same knee and draw it up toward your shoulder. Just release the lower back with the sleeping pose. Breathe here. Excellent. Slow down the breath. As you're ready, release that leg. Turn your head to the opposite side and draw the knee in toward that shoulder. Breathing in. Breathing out. Good. As you're ready, release the leg. Take your hands outside of your shoulders. Come on up through tabletop, and then just lower yourself down to your back. Coming all the way down to your mat, right where we started. Good. We're going to bring our feet up toward our hips, and then just lift our hips enough to take them over to the right. Hug your knees in toward your chest, and then drop them over to the left. Take your right arm over to the right. Take your gaze toward the right. Maybe your left arm also opens up, giving you a nice open heart. And breathe here. Left hand can also rest on top of this right leg. Enjoy this twist. And take a couple more breaths here. See if you can soften your face, soften the jaw, and let whatever might be wanting to hold on, just let go of any resistance. That right hip. And on your next breath in, just come back to center, let the spine reset. And then lift your hips, bump it over to the left, draw your knees in, and take your twist toward the other side. Good. Breathing in. Exhaling out. Nice job. On your next breath in, come back to center. Reset your spine so it's in the center of your mat. And then take any poses that you might have in your practice that might feel good before you enter into the final pose, Savasana. And as you come into Savasana, I always like to have a blanket under my knees or under my neck, or even if it's chilly, cover up. Take your arms nice and wide, palms face up, and just let your feet fall open. Let your eyes close. Let go of any control of the breath, and just allow yourself this time to rest. We've done some deep, intense work here. We've made some really interesting shapes with our bodies as we breathe through them. So acknowledge that and let yourself rest. And begin to deepen the breath. And make small movements, wiggling fingers and toes, turning the head from side to side. And you always have the option to stay right where you are. But if you'd like to roll to one side, and just pause in that fetal position, allowing yourself the transition time, taking a moment to just observe your body, how it handles these transitions, this change of seasons. And when you're ready, slowly use the strength of your arms to come up to a comfortable seat if you'd like to join me here. Just as Mary Oliver says, there are no wrong seasons, there are no wrong shapes. So stay where you are if that's your pleasure. But if you're up, your eyes are closed, just reach your arms up, reaching for all the goodness, and then draw your hands down into prayer right at your chest, at your heart center, and take your chin, bow to your own beautiful, loving heart. Thank you so much for showing up to your mat, for practicing, for coming together as we move from one season to the next as gracefully as possible. The light in me sees and honors and loves the light in you. Namaste. Excellent job. Thanks, you guys.